よし。これコンティニューしたらどっから始まるんだ？あー、こっから始まるのか。こいつを助けたことによってあのエンディングになったから、どうしようかな。こっちが多分出口なんだよな。とりあえず話しかけてみるか。
You? Who are you? Did he send you? Do you know you're here? You have to help me escape before that monster comes back. I'm
あー、また字
Centella.
幕サイズが。
I found a way out through the gate of Horn, but it's locked. So I told him about it, and instead of helping me escape, he locked me up. He wants to keep us all here forever, or until we're turned to gold. He's a monster. You have to let me go so we can kill him and take his key. Behind me, there's an aqueduct tunnel bringing water from outside the city, so it should lead us outside. The only problem is it's barred by a heavy locked gate, and he has the only key. Sentius, my adoptive father. Furies help me. I'll castrate and
振り合え
crucify him.
って誰だ？
I'm going to take that key from around his neck, even if it means cutting his throat to get it. I'm done caring about the golden rule. I just want out. Help me, and we can escape together. There won't be enough time. Just you and me. What do you say?
それはダメだ。悪いができない。
What? No. You can't just leave me here. How can you be so heartless?
これだな。
I hate you. I spit on you. I hope Dis drags you to Tartarus.
うんうん。ちょっと待って。字幕サイズが毎回戻っちゃうんだよな。とりあえずこいつの居場所は分かった。で、この奥はどこに繋がってんのこれ。鍵がかかってる。センティウスこっちから来たんだよな。なんか他のクエストが進んでたな。とりあえず戻るか。これ怖っ。降りられるのかな。危なっ。ほっ。これでまたいろいろ進んだはず。あいつの自殺をこれで止められるはずなんだよな。あれ違うか。どうしようかな。でもとりあえず自殺しようとしてた人のとこ行ってみようかな。この上だよな。
Salve, friend. I'm Octavia. Welcome to life under the Golden Rule. It's a ghastly thing, is it not? How are you faring so far? All right, well, it was lovely to meet you. I look forward to getting to know you better over the coming months. And if you ever...
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh, no. No. No, 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 no. Ulpius, what are you doing? Get back from there. If you lose your balance, you'll fall.
That's the idea.
What? Why? Why would you want that?
Why do you think I'm stuck for the rest of my life working for a man who treats me like an animal?
I know things are hard for you right now. They're hard for all of us. We're all in this together, Ulpius. Please, please just think this through. If you do this, it could be the sin that seals all of our fates. Is that what you want?
I'm sorry, but I just don't care anymore.
Please, I'll help him. I don't know, but it's a crime for slaves to take their own lives. And a debt bond... Thank you.
Oh.
You know about that? How is that possible? I mean, I've never mentioned it to anyone. Well, if you say so. You don't understand. I don't want to hurt anyone. I just want it all to be over. It's too late for that. Yulia and I made a pact.
Yulia.
And she's already swallowed hemlock this morning. If I backed out now, I'd be betraying her. I can't do that.
ユリアってなんか死んだ人か。
No. No. Time's up. I'm out. Wherever you are. Scintilla, my love. I'm sorry.
Ulpius, no!
あー、ダメだったな、クソ。
I can't believe he went through with it.
どうしよ
I'll have to let everyone know what happened. And I guess Malleolus will have to clean up the mess. And I'd best pray for... なんか病気で死んじゃった人がいたよな。 Salve, friend.
薬を手に入れればいいのか。ここはなんだ。何もないか。お金は結構あるんだよな。ここはナエビアの屋敷か。ルフィウスはもう話を聞いてくれないんだよな。
途中から見るとわけがわからない。
ああ、のぺ。そうだよね。一応ね、もう一個のエンディングはクリアしたんだよね。したんだけど、まだ全然、トゥルーエンドではないっぽくて。なんかいろいろな事情が複雑に絡み合ってるから、多分途中から見ると本当にわけがわからないと思う。ああ、二人一緒に喋らないで。こいつ喋ったっけ？喋ったか。ちょっと待って、やることが多くてな。 薬を買おう。あれ取り込み中？何？
毎回あらすじ動画作ってください。上を
そんな
見る顔。
How much would you want to make me a bow?
For the last time, Dacis, I'm not making you a bow.
But why?
You know why.
But how am I going to defend myself against someone else with a weapon?
There are no other weapons in the city. We all went along with the magistrate's weapons ban, so it wouldn't be an issue.
That's why I've got to get in first before someone else beats me to it. Hello there, friend. May I say, that is... Are you well, stranger? Have you been out in the sun too long? You seem a little... confused?
こい
Perhaps
つ
you should go
に
and see Lucretia in a clinic.
薬を売ってもらいたいんだけど、あ、これ。
Certainly. All I ask is a reasonable price of 1,000 denarii.
払ってやるよ。
You have it. I'm impressed.
あれ盗む方法もあったの？
Pleasure doing business. Can I help you with anything else?
死んでしまう前に、でも何もかも順番が間違ってるな。これ一回やり直した方がいいんかな。もうこれ死んでるよな。あ、生きてるな。生きてるけど、あいつが自殺する前に助けたいんだよな、これ。ちょっと待てよ。お金あといくらあったっけな。お金。2000円、全然あるな。あとあれだ。宿屋のおばちゃんがなんか出口を知ってて、そいつも1000円よこせって言ってたから、あれここじゃないか。
Wow, isn't that a big long... Oh, you're here. And, I hope there's a light. What was that? Some
あ、
kind
結
of
局
joke?
何選んでもダメなの
If
か
it
こい
was,
つ。
it wasn't funny. I take back what I said. Let's just forget that ever happened.
噂話ってなんだっけ？
Certainly. For 10 denarii.
払おう。
Have you met Livia? She used to do my hair until one day she just snapped. This place has that effect on people. Now she just stands around, caked in filth, muttering nonsense to herself. It's a real shame. Now I have to do my own hair.
さらに中
I
で
hear
ない。
that if Malleolus is elected, he's gonna throw a small festival to celebrate, with entertainment and everything. Can't wait to find out what it is.
これ以上払っても意味ないか。
There used to be a midwife here, Naevia, but this place drove her mad as a Maenad. Said she could hear the statues whispering to her. Can you imagine? Fortunately for us, she locked herself in the palace weeks
ナイ
ago
ビアの
and
とこは
hasn't
もう
been
あっ
seen.
たからいいんだよな。
Whatever you like. You know, normally I'd expect you to buy me a drink. Straight to business, huh? I can work with that. As a matter of fact, I do know a way out. I'm happy to tell you all about it, but this is valuable information we're talking about, and I don't just give it out like some cheap oracle. So, how badly do you want it?
1000円払っちゃうよ。
Ah, I'm impressed. Didn't take you long to gather quite the little fortune. And now for my end of the bargain. Here is your way out.
ん？は
This is hemlock. Drink this and your life will be over in no time. Because the only way out of
やられた
here
な。
is death. Congratulations on your purchase.
でもこれ何かに使えんのかな。
Sorry, a deal's a deal. No refunds.
これ金返してもらう方法ありそうだな。
I offered to sell you a way out, and I did. It's death. There's nothing illegal about that. And I should know. This isn't exactly the first time I've made this deal.
これが初めてじゃない。
There's a reason everyone else who bought my way out has kept it quiet. And it's that they didn't want everyone else to know just how foolish they'd been.
ユーリアも多分ヘムロックで死んだんだよな。
And break the golden rule? You might be a little slow, but I don't think you're that slow. Warpace, do you know what you've done?
あ、やべ。あ、やっちゃった。あー、やっちゃったよ、もう。これはあかんかった。あ、センティウス来てねえな。早く。あ、いって。やばいやばいやばい。はよ。はよ、ポータル開いて。あ、痛い痛い痛い痛い。あれ。あ。いや、食らいすぎた。え、これどっから始まった？もしや結構戻った？結構戻ってる気がするなぁ。あ、戻ったなぁ。あ、でもあいつがまだ自殺する前か。先に他のことをやろう。これで戻った方が早いか。相手。あ、また字幕サイズが。とりあえず薬買って、もうこのくだり絶対あんの？
Hey, Virgil, how much would you want to make me a bow?
For the last time, Daces, I'm not making you a bow.
But why?
You know why.
But how am I going to defend myself against someone else with a weapon?
There are no other weapons in the city. We all went along with
でも待ってよ、盗む方法もあるっぽいんだよな。
That's why I've got to get in first before someone else beats me to it.
でもこれ盗んだらダメなんだよな。え、鍵開くのこれ。薬どこに売ってんだ？ まあいいや、
Wonder how
普通に
much
買お
one
う
of。these statues is worth on the outside. Hello there, friend. Certainly. Oh. Pleasure doing business. Very well. Another.
で、これをルクレティアに渡す。
What are you doing in here? Can't you see this woman is dying? She's been poisoned. She needs the resin of a plant called Sylphium, but that Kulas... What? Quick, give it here. Yulia, you need to swallow this. Here, let me help you. Hopefully, in a moment, she should be able to breathe normally. That was extraordinary. How did you know she needed this exact thing, and at this exact moment? Are you some kind of oracle?
どうしようかな。
A what? I'm sorry, I must have misheard you. I think it's your accent, because it sounded like you said, time traveler. But whatever kind of traveler you are, that was like the gods hearing my prayers and intervening. You just saved a person's life, and you should be proud of yourself. She might even be able to thank you herself in a few moments. And maybe she can tell us who poisoned her, and who she meant when she was
蛇
muttering
のよう
about
な
that
残
snake's
酷
cruel
な
black
黒い
eyes.
目。
In the meantime, I'm happy to help you with whatever it is you need. I'm Lucretia, and I'm going to be straight with you. I'm not a physician. This is Nevia's
あ、
clinic.
もともと
I've
ナ
just
エビ
been
アがここ
filling
にい
in
たんだ。
ever since she disappeared. I'm tired and out of my depth and miserable all the time. But I'd rather take this on myself than let one of you lot mess it up. My husband and I moved to Rome from Caesarea. He embraced the Roman way more than I would have liked, and turned into an awful... I would have divorced him and demanded the return of my dowry, but I knew he would sooner have me killed than give me my right. So I waited for the right time to take what was mine and disappear. And then the fires came. As he prepared to evacuate our villa, I gathered our most precious belongings, coins and gemstones, and the moment his back was turned, I ran. I could barely see for the smoke, and the streets were full of people trampling each other. I ran for the river, like everyone else, and leapt in. The next thing I remember, I was waking up on a riverbank, not far from here.
そこはみんなと一緒だな。コインについて語った。語ってたっけ？
It's all right. Say what you will about this, and while there's no shortage of snakes here, at least with the golden rule, they have to try to be discreet about it. Oh, this shrine was in use as a clinic long before any of us arrived here. Kind of strange to set up a clinic in the temple of the god of disease. But the god who inflicts a curse is also the only god who can undo it. So I suppose praying to Apollo for healing kind of makes sense. Well, she used to run the clinic. She was a midwife, not a physician, but she was the closest thing we had down here. And she was good too, until she suddenly lost all interest in us. One day she told me she'd made some profound discovery about the golden statues. This changes everything, she kept saying, but I had no idea what she was talking about. The last time I saw her, the last time any of us saw her, she was muttering to the statues, like I could talk to them. And then she shut herself in the palace, barred the door from the inside, and nobody's seen her since. She's been gone so long now, we figure she's either dead or up to something so strange that she doesn't want anyone else to know about it. But I really wish I could reach her, because that's the only hope I have of solving a troubling problem, a real thorn in the paw situation. One of my patients is suffering from terrible rheumatism. His joints are inflamed and he's in constant pain. I really shouldn't say. He wouldn't like it. And he's a little bit scary. He's become so irritable that the smallest things set him off. And I worry he'll end up losing his temper and lashing out. And you know what that means. I just know Nevia would know how to treat him, assuming she's still alive. But nobody seems to know how to get into the palace.
Oh.
Really? That would be wonderful. Thank you. Let me know how you go.
初見です。
ああ、エル君。アポロの聖堂ってどこですか？ああ、起きてる。
Oh, it's you.
やっと見れる時間に配信してくれましたね。
A little bit out of it. But thanks for trying to help me, I suppose. Was there something you wanted? Lucretia says I'm supposed to rest. As much as I'm grateful that you tried to help me, it's just not safe for me to talk about it. Please, no more questions.
この人はなんで毒をそう飲んだの？
The golden rule. That's the least of my worries. The gods may be cruel, but Malleolus and Claudia are far crueler.
クラウディアって誰だっけ？
Please, just leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it.
その話。
何系のゲームです？
何系なんだろう。アドベンチャーゲームなのかな。でもなんかやってると、あれっぽい。TRPG っぽい。
Persistent as Nemesis, aren't you? I can tell you,
なん
but
か結構
it's a
会話が
long
多いか
saga.
な。簡潔にお願いしま
Look,
す。
if you don't have time to listen to me, don't let me keep
あ、やべ。
you.
聞きます、
Alright.
聞きます。
I'd been here about a week. When it dawned on me I'd be trapped here for the rest of my life. I could hardly breathe and I knew I had to get out somehow. So when my new friend Aurelia offered me a secret way out,
あ、出た。
I would have done anything. And then I learned her asking price.
あ、じゃああいつから毒を買ったのか。
She was supposed to be my friend. I told her it would take me years to save up that much. So she suggested I take out a loan from Malleolus.
あー。
And I did. I had to sign an agreement saying I'd work off the debt over 30 years. But I figured I'd be out of here so soon it wouldn't matter. I paid Aurelia. And she gave me her so-called way out.
毒でし
You
ょ？
want to know what it was? Hemlock. Drink this, she said, and you'll be out of here in no time. Of course, I demanded my money back, but she refused. She pointed to a sign on her tavern saying, "Let the buyer beware." Then she just looked at me with those cruel black eyes and she laughed. She immediately told Malleolus I'd tried to escape without paying him back. Only, he didn't seem upset or surprised at all. In fact, he just thanked her.
あー。
And that's when I realized the two of them had planned the whole thing from the beginning.
なるほどな。
That's what I said to the magistrate. I went to Sentius and begged for help, but he said the law was clear. I'd signed over my labor for 30 years and there was nothing he could do. I thought about resisting too. But Malleolus said if I didn't submit, I'd break the golden rule. And I couldn't be responsible for all those deaths, so he locked me in his villa. Confiscated everything I owned as collateral, and made me wear immodest, humiliating outfits while I worked day in, day out. His wife Claudia was just as bad. She sent me to work on an
Claudiaってあい
endless
つの
stream of
奥さんか。
futile, demeaning tasks. I'd be on my hands and knees, scrubbing the floor clean for hours, only for her to pour slop on it and hiss, "You missed a spot." Those two took everything from me. But they
ああ、じゃあ
forgot to
結局自殺
confiscate
なのか。
one thing. My hemlock. I just wanted it to be over. But it seems I messed that up too. Should have drunk all of it. Don't you think I know that? I brought it on myself. I trusted one of the most callous human beings I've ever met, and tried to swindle the other. I don't know how I could have been so stupid. When I've recovered, I expect their thug Domitius will come for me. He'll escort me back to their villa, and I'll be right back where I started. Only this time, I won't be able to lull myself to sleep at night with the thought of a permanent solution. Honestly, it would have been better if the poison had been allowed to run its course. I doubt it. It seems this is the fate the gods have chosen for me, for trying to escape. At least until someone breaks the golden rule. Huh. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad.
ああ、そうか。代わりに借金を。
But it doesn't matter. I made a suicide pact with Ulpius last night. He's in exactly the same position as I am. Malleolus and Aurelius set the same trap for him a month after they did it to me. He and I are in this together. He's probably already thrown himself from the bluff into Malleolus's villa by now. If so, I'd never be able to live with myself, knowing I broke my promise to him. I doubt you could make it up to the bluff in time. I don't know who you are, or why you seem so determined to help me, but thank you.
これで自殺を止められるかな。どっちから行くのが近いんだこれ。なんだこれ。今度こそ自殺を止めたい。
All right, well, it was.
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh no, 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 no. Ulpius, what are you doing? Get back from there.
That's the idea.
What?
Why do you think I'm...
I know things are hard for you, right? Please just think.
I'm sorry.
Please, help him. If he goes through with it, it could be... Thank you.
まずこれかな。
You know about that? How is that possible? I mean, I've never mentioned it to anyone. Well, if you say so.
なんかまだ情報足りないのかな。
I don't want to hurt anyone. I just want it all to be over. It's too late for that. Yulia and I made a
いや
pact,
ユーリアは助けた
and
ぞ。
she's already swallowed hemlock this morning. If I backed out now, I'd be betraying her. I can't do that.
あ、来た来た。どっちがいいんだろう。どっちも一緒かな。
Oh, really? That changes things a little. But we're still in debt bondage to that monster. Unless you happen to have 2,000 denarii to pay off both of our debts.
あ 一応聞くか。
Yulia and I are in debt bondage to Malleolus. We might as well be slaves. And that's how much it will take to buy our freedom back. So, do you have the money or not?
あるある。
Really? Wait. So, I guess you'd want me to work for you then.
いえ、あんたは自由だ。
Do that for us. A couple of complete strangers. It seems today we're both blessed. This did not turn out how I thought. Thank you, friend. I never thought people like you existed. Thank you. I'll go and pay off our debts immediately. I just wish there was some way I could repay you. But I have nothing but the tunic on my back.
いや、選
I'll go
挙
and take care
で
of things with Malleolus and
協
tell
力
Yulia
し
the
てほ
good
しいんだけ
news.
どな。
Thanks again, friend. I'll never forget what you did for us.
よかったよかった。でもまだやることあるんだよな。あれ？あ、
I have nothing to say to you, Kaput Mada.
あれ？こいつもう話聞いてくれないのか。
Malleolus just released us and we never have to set foot in that villa again.
What? How?
The newcomer arranged it somehow.
Really? That's incredible. Oh, what a relief. I don't know what to say.
You don't need to say anything. Just rest up, get your strength back, and we'll celebrate properly when you're ready.
I will. Thank you, Ulpius. I will.
これで一件落着？
Sure.
ああ、この話は別にいいか。
Oh no. Sorry, I don't mean to worry you, but no, that is definitely not normal. There was one other person who claimed she could hear the statues talking to her. But that was Nevia, and she went a little mad.
ナイビアの話も別にもういいんだよな。
That's a shame. Thanks again for saving Yulia's life. Apollo smiles upon you.
あれでも待ってよ。アポロの聖堂ってここか？あ、これか。なるほど。
May Apollo keep you safe. Feeling all right? Oh, I see. Well, what's the...
綾鷹さん、いらっしゃい。キラキ
あ、
ラ。
タカさん珍しい。いらっしゃい。
Willowback. I should have known. It was under my nose the whole time. That's very helpful. Thank you. If this works, it should settle
ルフィウ
Rufus
ス
down some.
ルフィウスっ
I
て
have
誰だ
some
っ
right
け？
here. Could you do me a favor and give him some of this? He'll just need to swallow a pinch of it. I'm hoping it will avert disaster. Thank you. I'm really glad you arrived when you did.
OK。
That's a shame. Thanks again.
ルフィウスってあいつか。 マークついてるわ。でもこいつ口聞いてくれなくなっちゃったんだよな。
I have nothing to say to you,
あ、ダメじゃん。クソ。こっちのフラグが折れてるっぽいな。どうしよっかな。リビア。リビアってどこにいたっけな。あれここにいなかったっけ。パンのレシピ。
さすが人気者の沼達さんですね。ルフィウスに口も聞いてもらえないなんて、キラキラ。
ルフィウスね、ちょっと機嫌を損ねてしまってね。
Don't you just love springtime?
どうしよっかな。一回やり直した方がいいかな。一回ループを戻そう。ループを戻したいから、一回犯罪を犯して、
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
逃げろ。
時を戻そう、赤い簡単符。
まさにそれ。なんかこの世界では誰かが犯罪を犯すと、なんか神が怒って、で、ここに戻ってくると、時を戻せるという。
Salve, friend. Mind to...
私の名は沼達だ。
All right then. I'll get out of your way.
今ちょっと忙しいからな。これでルフィウスさんも口を聞いてくれるはず。
Name's Rufus. Better watch.
あ、そう、リュウマチ。
What business is that of yours? Willow bark. And this will work? Oh, thank God. Finally, some relief. This is what I've been praying for. Maybe God hasn't abandoned me after all.
めっちゃ出れたな。
Thank you. I've been in a lot of pain lately. The rheumatism, these cursed statues always watching, and the crisis of faith. It was too much. Started messing with my head. This is exactly what I needed to set it straight again. I owe you one.
代わりを作ったぞ。で、そう、バージルを脅してるのはこいつのはずなんだよな。
Look, I haven't been at my best lately. I know that. It's the rheumatism. It starts with constant pain in all your joints. Then the pain starts to mess with your head.
変わってるな。
Makes you angry. I know that's not an excuse for how I acted.
あ、これで。
It's the truth. But with the... And I know I said I owe you one. So I'll leave him alone from now on.
よかったよかった。
It's not as if I was ever going to hurt him anyway. I was just lashing out.
うんうん。 これで1個進んだでしょ。で、あとリビアがどこにいるのかわかんないんだよな。ここにいる時もあるんだけどな。
Citizen.
あれ、バーチェルのとこ行くんじゃないのか、これ。
What demon or spirit told you about that? You went snooping in his place? That was risky. We're lucky you didn't cross any lines. Have you spoken to him about it? Really? How did you manage that? Ah, poor fellow. I've heard that can really mess with a person's head. Well done for figuring that out. Really? That's promising. I'll keep an eye out for him. Nice to talk to you.
あとは、ガレリウスを選挙で勝たせればいいのかな。
How'd you do?
そのためには、
Citizen.
？Hello? Hello? Gold? You're going to let me out of here? Really? Galerius already tried that. He said the magic... Like... Galerius? If you help make him magistrate, he can... Hannibal said it was in the cisterns. I can't remember what it was, just that it was way up high and very precious.
こいつが出口の鍵持ってんのか、もしかして。
Bye bye.
これで、ガレリウスを立候補させて、
How'd you do?
だから、その前にあいつを辞退させないといけないのか。あいった、危な。
Deeply honored. Did you just... well...
Are
you in... Why?
これだ。
So...
あ、こんな選択肢あったのか。2000円払わなくてよかったのか。
So much work and...
わ、失敗したな。
Fine. Ruling this. I'll have Domitius notify the priestess of my withdrawal. There. You got what you wanted.
わあ、順番間違えた。で、ガレリウスはどこにいんだっけな。あ、そう、センティラ見つけたけど。
What is it, citizen?
ああ、でも何も選択肢増えてないな。ガレリウスどこだっけ。こっちか。あ、いた。取り込み中。 あっちの会話がまだ終わってないからか。選挙に出馬取り下げた。まだダメか。会話が進んで、ああ、進んでるか。あ、いけた。
I saw you slide down that rope before. And strange, too, since that device you used is... There I was, thinking I'd invented it. Anyway, I'm sorry to ask.
Well,
I've been trying to get this rare flower from the rock spire in the middle of the lake. It's too steep to climb, so I hung a rope over the lake and made this pulley device, only I couldn't quite summon the nerve to use it. Do you think you could use the device again and try to get that flower for me?
Oh, なぜ必要なの?
I don't really feel comfortable talking about it.
言っちゃえ、言っちゃえ。
Look, I'll tell you everything if you get it for me. All right?
まあいいでしょう。
It would help me a lot. There's no rush, just whenever you get a chance. All right. See you around.
これ今までにない展開だな。あれか。むずくない？どっから登るのこれ。あれ？こっち？あれか。タイミングよく降りるってこと？うわ、むずい！むずっ。こっちからは使えないよな、これ。めんど。結構早めに降りないとダメだな。ほい。お、いけた。
Ah, it's you again. Hope you're settled. Now, what's on your...
取ってきたよ。
Brilliant! You did it! Well done! This is going to make her so happy. Equitia, I mean.
エクニティアに恋してるの
Figure
か。
out how to give it to her. What I really want to do is walk up to her, give her the flower, and confess I've been madly in love with her since the moment we met. But on the other hand, I can't shake the feeling that the consequences could be... terrible. You mean, aside from her execution? You see, Equitia is a Vestal priestess, meaning she's taken a vow of chastity, the breaking of which would be an extremely serious affront to the gods and a capital offense. Even if she was just suspected of being unchaste, it could lead to her execution. Unchaste Vestals get buried alive. Oh, and I'd get flogged to death for good measure. At the same time, she's just so kind and graceful, and I feel so much love for her that if I don't tell her, it'll burn a hole in my chest. I don't know what to do. What do you think? What would you do? Now that I hear you say that out loud, I hear how crazy it is.
なんだよ急に。
I think maybe I need to be a bit more cautious. What I need is a go-between. Someone who can tell her how I feel and find out how she feels without risking her life. What do you say? Do you think you could help me one more time?
いいでしょう。
Wonderful! Now, all I need you to do is give her the flower and tell her it's from a secret admirer. Tell her I'll keep my distance and that I just want her to know that she's loved.
私が引き受けた。
Thank you. Come back as quick as you can and tell me what she says.
あいつを立候補させるはずだったのになんか余計なお使いをさせられているな。
今日で3月も終わりますが、今年度の沼達オブイヤーはどのゲームになりますかね。考えるかを。
今年度ですか？今年度あれじゃないですか？エルデンリングじゃないですかね。
A new face. Arve, and may Vesta watch over you. I'm Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this?
ある人がこの花をあなたに。いや、エルデンリング面白かったですよ。
ベタすぎておもんないな。
あなたを潜み。はい。はい。バレてる。ガレリウスバレてるよ。あ、そうなの？あれ？付き合っちゃえよ。
求めてたのそういうのじゃないんよ。沼達オブイヤーですよ。
今年入ってそんなに新しいゲームやってないしな。
Tell that adorable oaf that my Vestal's vow of chastity ends once I turn 36. So if we ever make it out of here, and he doesn't mind waiting a few years,
素敵素敵。
then tell him I love him too. I hope so. See you again soon, I hope.
よかったな、ガレリウス。
じゃあ6月終わりにまた聞きますね。
なんかじゃあいろいろやっときますね、ゲーム。
Don't you just love springtime? Ah, it's you again. Hope you're settling in now. Thanks. What did she say? Venus, that is the best news I've ever heard in my life. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You have no idea how happy you've made me.
楽しみにしてます。キラキラ。焼肉も楽しみにしてます。赤いハート。
ああ、ご飯行きましょうね。
What's to offer you? All I can do is tell you where there's a secret stash of coins you might be interested in.
コインの、いや、ぜひ聞きたい。
私もゲームしてきますね。
はい。
ニコニコペロリ。
いってらっしゃいませ。
またね。手を振る。キラキラ。
Unfortunately, one of those golden huntress statues is blocking the path, and I'm not game to move it. If you can figure out how to get past it, I reckon there might be a small fortune waiting for you.
なんだって、やばい。よく聞いてなかったな。もう一回教えてほしいな。まあいいや。
I've bounced the idea around once or twice, mainly as a way of getting Dooley set free.
で、こいつを立候補させて。
He did? Oh, that was. I'll let Equitia know.
立候補してくれ。
All right.
やべえ。お金のありかなんつってたかな。よく聞いてなかった。まあいっか。そんなに必要ないしな。これであとはガレリウスが選挙で勝てるようにすればいいんだよな。恩を売った人たちに話を聞いてみよう。あれ、また寝てる。
What are you doing in here? Can't you see this? She needs the
あれ
resin of a plant called silver. What? Yulia? Hopefully in a
あれ
moment
そ
she
っか
should be able
一
to
回
breathe
ループ
normally.
戻し
That
たっ
was
け
extraordinary. How did you know? Ah, look. If you don't want to, that was like you just, and maybe she can tell us in the meantime. I wish some people just don't get sick.
この辺はま
A
あいい
city
と
without
し
sea,
て
but snakes like Desi, absolutely nothing. That's a shame. Thank.
いやこれもいいんだよな別に。ってことはこの奴隷2人を解放するくだりをもう一回やんなきゃいけないのか。あれいつになったら起きんの？
Feeling all right? Sure. Do you really want to know? I mean, if some... Gladly. I'm Lucretia. I'm tired. And... Gladly. That's a shame.
さっきどうやったらこいつ目覚めたんだっけ？起きた起きた。
Oh, was there... You mean my life story? Oh, well...
あれさっきと変わってるな。
I grew up as part of a... Our father found good husbands for my sisters. But I wasn't... it was a good life for a while. And we must have had 100 workers passing buckets of water. But they fell on deaf ears. The fire was relentless, and my employer told me to grab what valuables I could and flee for the Tiber, with the crowds. I remember diving into the river and then... Thank you. But to be honest... If that's your idea of a...
あれ怒っちゃった
I know what kind of...
やべ。それは触れてはいけない話題だったのか。ちょっと待って。やることが多くて混乱してきた。ちょっと待って。録音消してる。
You again. Sentius, Millet.
変えてほしい。ダメか。
Sentius.
これ何回やってもダメ？ダメか。
Sometimes I stare at the great temple on the bluff, and welcome back. Well, Sentius seems to know what he's doing. Nobody's.
投票先を変えてほしい。
isn't for sale. If...
ダメか。
Nice to talk.
どうやって
Wonder how much one of these statues is worth on the outside. Hello there, friend. Well, I'll take your word for it. Now you're talking. I'm interested. How about 100 and...
100円 ?5000 だ。
Oh, that's a little excessive, don't you think? It's not the bow of Ulysses we're talking about. All right. But I'm going to need you to tell me before I pay up.
交渉決裂だ。
Let's not be too hasty, friend. I just want a little assurance that I can trust you, that's all. I suppose you're right. All right, you drive a hard bargain, but here's your money. Now, the location
や
of
っ
that
た
bar.
ティアナの聖堂の中。
What? But I already knew that, you imbecile. Everyone knows that. I can't take that golden bow because stealing from the goddess in her own shrine would break the golden rule. You promised to tell me where I could get one of my own. What is this? Some kind of joke? I don't believe this is happening.
詐欺じゃん。
Don't even talk to me.
ああ、怒っちゃった。
Don't even talk to me.
怒っちゃったよ。リディアはどこにいるんだ？リディアがどこにいるのかわからん。
Hello. My friend Hannibal used to look. He said, if anything ever happened to him, he gave me this key. All I remember is he said something. Now nobody looks after me. You're going to let me... Hilarious.
塔を破って出してあげようか。
Like, if you help, Hannibal said it was...
Bye
bye.
俺の目的を果たすにはどうしたらいいんだ？あ、やべ。
You have to do something.
こっち行くつもりなかったのに。
Real no. You have to do. Thank you. I have to hide.
そこに隠れたらダメ。
What? All right. Fine. Come and find.
ファビア。こいつはファビアか。あいつからちゃんと話聞いてない気がするな。
Wonder how much one of these statues is worth on the outside.
Did you stop him?
ああ、これやんないと話聞いてくれないのか。やります、やります。
Stop right there.
ああ、これ本当のことを教えたらどうなるんだろうな。いや、とりあえずいいか。
Thank you for your service to the
とりあえずこいつはこれでいいでしょ。
I'm hiding.
あれ、まだか。
Salve.
早く入って。
filthy, lying degenerate.
はい。これでこの人話聞いてくれるはず。
Shiny. You took an accident. So I do have a question though.
確かに。
So you
あ
kind
あ、
of
ダメ。
murdered him then.
あ、バカ野郎。あー、失敗した。入っていっちゃいけなかった。失敗した。早く。 ー、失敗した。
Salve, friend. Mind tell...
わかった。そのくだりはガレリウスにやってもらおう。ん？あ、いろいろやってくれんのか。あ、なるほどね。一個やってくれんのか。じゃあこれやってもらおうか。あ、これ全部やってくれんの？
Poor Virgil. Poor Rufus. Yulia.
ガレリウスめっちゃ便利じゃん。
All right.
これもやってくれんの？
What? Are you? You're serious, aren't you?
あ、全部やってくれんじゃん。
But once I'm done, I'll need you to tell me how you know.
なんだ、知らなかった。これで一気にいろいろ片付くのか。なるほどね。一回クリアしたクエストはあいつが全部やってくれんのか。そしたらあとはリビアを探したいな。こいつも悪いやつだからな。お。
How dare you? Get away from me, you pig.
あ、怒っちゃった。
Oh, do us all a favor and drink hemlock, cap at murder.
ああ。
Cerberus lifts his triple head and lets out his threefold braying.
あ、こいつがリビアか。
They follow their trades, imitating their previous lives, but they are ignorant. Just as the ocean accepts the rivers, but it does not. The bloodless shadows wander without some the house of the ruler of the depths. Others follow their trades, Help me. It is better for you if you remain ignorant. There is only a downward path, gloomy with fatal yew trees. Help me. It is better for you. The bloodless. Help me. It is better for you. You think it is better for you if
ダメだ、進まないな。
newly arrived are ignorant.
どうしようかな。巫女であれば彼女を助けられるかもしれない。エクイティアンに話を聞くか。ああ、やってくれてるガレリウス。
A treatment? Really? Thank God. Finally, some relief after all this time. Thank you, Galerius. You're a good man. And I'll be sure to
A golden bow, just like Apollo and Diana's.
Appreciate that. Now, I've got to run.
ああ、これも助けてくれてる。
Sorry, was there something you... Our priestess, Equitia, once told me it's the god's way of creating a city without sin. But if that's the case, the god is responsible. I mean, all it really does is make bad people better at hiding their sins. And I've seen Malleolus, Claudia, and Domitius make grown men cry. Romans. They've never physically hurt anyone. But the point is, They don't have... They've got people running scared because everyone knows Malleolus. I doubt it. I mean, the election is today. I
それはどうかな?
suppose we will. All right.
いまいちいい情報なかったな。
A golden bow, just like Apollo and Diana's. Feeling all right?
特に何も増えてないな。
That's a shame. Thanks again for...
あとはマレディウス誰だっけ？あいつは自殺も止めてくれてるな。あと何すればいいんだっけな。あ、そうだ、エクイティアに話を聞きたいんだけど。おう。
We're free. Malleolus just released us and we never have to set foot in that villa again.
What? How?
Galerius arranged it somehow.
Really?
本当は俺がやったんだけどな。
Incredible. Oh, what a relief. I don't know what to say.
You don't need to say anything. Just rest up. Get your strength back.
あ、わかった、そうか。これをガレディウスにやらせることによって、みんなガレディウスの評判が良くなるのか。取り込み中。エクイティアどこ行った？クインティウス。
Don't believe a word they tell you.
あ、選挙取り下げした。
Change of heart. But you're on track to be magistrate, sir. All that work, all that money wasted.
Those are my orders. Carry them out.
As you wish, sir.
こいつについていけば、エクイティアのとこ行くかな。あ、そこにいたんか。
Priestess, Malleolus has decided to withdraw from the election.
Oh, well, that's surprising. But thank you for telling me. I'll let everyone know. Citizens, I have an announcement. Malleolus has withdrawn his candidacy from today's election. Unless any new challengers are nominated by nightfall, Sentius will be re-elected magistrate by default.
Actually, I'd like to nominate myself, if that's all right.
Of course, Galerius. That's your right. Citizens, the election will proceed.
あれ、もう始めんの選挙?
Salve again, friend. I went and did as you asked, and it worked. How is it possible that you've just arrived here and you already know everyone and exactly what's about to happen to them? You're toying with me, right? Wait, you're not kidding, are you? That's the only way you could have known. You're a bit like... Oh, what was his name? Sisyphus. Yeah, that's the one. Old King Sisyphus. Sisyphus was a Greek king a long time ago. For daring to think he could outsmart the gods, he was given a terrible punishment. He was forced to push a great boulder up to the top of a hill. Only, just as it reached the top, it would roll all the way back down to the bottom.
なんか岩を押してる
Over and
銅像あ
over
ったよ
again
な。
for all eternity. Just like you. Actually, now that I think about it, there are a bunch of old stories about the gods punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over. Tantalus was made to grasp at fruit on a tree he could never quite reach.
この話聞いたな。
Oh, and Ixion was... Anyway, I don't know which god you managed. So, I'll tell you what. I'll keep doing whatever I can to help you. Oh, and I'm in the running for magistrate. Oh, that's... Now, I'm going to keep your secret. Oh, and if our conversations ever start to annoy you, just tell me...
Arve. A new face. Arve. And Mayvet.
リビアのことを聞きたいんだけどな。
Interesting. I'm not sure.
あ、新しいの出てる。
Yes. I suppose that could be something. But then most of us do tend to carry coins on our person, don't we? What else? Yes. I understand. What else? That's true. I know I wasn't entirely sure. It's as I feared.
あ、来た。
I think I understand what poor Livia has been going through. Let me ask you this. Did you happen to encounter a stranger in the forest before you arrived here?
あった。うん。
Did you happen to catch her name?
カレンって言ってたよ。
I see. And was this Karen by any chance wearing a hood?
どうだったっけな。
Because I've seen her before. There's something I think you should see. I think you'd better follow me to the baths.
なんだ。
But don't follow too closely. We can't have people thinking we're bathing
そうね。
together.
あ、勝手に追っかけてくれるのこれ。話進んできたぞ。
ヌマタツオブイヤーはエルデンユータンですか？
ああ、エルデン言ったね。
The young woman you met by the river was wearing a hood. Here, look down at the bottom of the bath.
なんだ？
It's a little hard to make out in this light. If only we could see. Oh, what a marvelous lamp.
あ、壁画がある。
Somebody waking up by a river in a forest to find a hooded figure with a
本当だ。
coin. It's just as you described it. Only your pronunciation is a little off. The name
じゃあ6月終わりにま来ますね。
カロン
As in Charon, the
死
ferryman
者
of
の
the dead.
渡し森カロン
Charon, who in exchange for the right coin helps the souls of the newly deceased cross the Styx, the river that separates the land of the living from the land of the dead.
When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, but all I found was some loose change. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Sorry if I sounded cagey, it's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
やっぱあいつもなんか怪しかったもんな。
punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over. But on the bright side, at least you're not stuck in the underworld like they all were.
I'm so sorry, my friend. I'm so sorry. I take it you know what this means.
どういうこと？みんな死んでるってこと？
I'm afraid so.
え？
It's all starting to make sense. All these people whose last memory was running from the fires toward the river. It seems none of them escaped with their lives after all. Perhaps we should be grateful they don't remember their final moments. It also tells us that the Golden Rule is the work of Pluto, the god of the underworld, and why his epithet has always been Father of Riches. I know it's a lot to take in, and you look as if you have questions, so I'll try to answer them if I can.
Machi?
That was my first thought too. In the old stories, the underworld was where the souls of the deceased were taken. But it was also possible for the living to reach it without dying, if they were particularly fearless. So I'm afraid I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting you're not from here. If you were Roman, or even Greek, you would know these stories. Each of them is slightly different, whether the storyteller was Plato, Homer, Virgil, or Ovid. But they always involved the souls of the dead meeting a grim ferryman named Charon on the bank of a river. It was said that he'd help the new arrival cross, only if they could pay him with a coin, an obol. That's why it was once our custom to bury our loved ones with a coin in their mouths. Charon's obol, we called it. Of course, an obol was a kind of Greek coin, because we inherited this knowledge from the Greeks. To be fair, the ferryman isn't exactly as the poets described, and he, she, they seem to appear to different people in different guises. You say you saw a young woman named Karen with a hood, and I once heard Kabash mention a stranger in a ram headdress named Kerti, and Rufius described meeting a stranger named Kamut Tabal wearing an eagle headdress. But whatever form this stranger took, they were always wearing a hood of some sort, and their name always began with a K sound. I suspect the only way you'll solve this riddle is if your paths cross again. Good question. Let's see. In the stories, Charon would always require a coin as payment for passage across the river. But that never made any sense to me. What does an ancient immortal being need with coins? In our case, it seems Charon didn't take the coins we had. He or she merely checked we had one in our possession. So, maybe there's something special about the coins each of us had on us. That might explain why we wound up here, but so many others did not. No. I mean, I had my suspicions, especially after Livia's ramblings, but I would never have figured it out without your help, I promise you. Now that we know where we are, we have to figure out what to do about it, if we don't want to be cast into gold for eternity. We don't have much to go on, except the old stories. I remember 4 in particular about heroes in the underworld. Hercules, the demigod and son of Jupiter. Orpheus, a Thracian poet. Sisyphus, a king of Ephyra, and Aeneas, a Trojan hero. Hercules was able to leave the underworld because he cowed its god with his strength. Sisyphus and Orpheus both relied on their wits instead. They persuaded the goddess of the underworld.
これエンディングのこと言ってんのか。4通りのエンディングあるもんな。
Aeneas was able to escape with the help of a spirit guide who led him through a secret gate. So it seems you have 2 options: to confront the god of the underworld head on, or find a way to escape with the help of Proserpina or some other guide. It's a reasonable question, but the problem is, this place is fairly well designed to keep us here. There's no way to climb up the shaft. And even if you could build a ladder big enough, just trying it would break the golden rule. We know that, thanks to the writings left behind by those who've tried. All Romans try to avoid saying it, and the reason is quite simple. He might hear us. You may refer to him as Pluto, if you wish, but you'll only be calling attention to yourself. Do so at your own peril. Shh! Is everyone so blunt where you're from? Oh. That option would be the boldest, but also the only way to learn the truth about the Golden Rule, and maybe even put an end to it. As I said, Hercules managed to overpower the god of the underworld, but he was a demigod. Forgive my candor, but you are no Hercules. Are you telling me that you can? I won't pretend to understand exactly what that means, but if that's true, then perhaps you stand a chance. So, if you want to confront him, I'll help you as much as I can. Who knows? Perhaps your name will be uttered in the same sentence as Hercules one day. But first, you'd need an audience with you-know-who, and for that, you'll need to enter the great temple overlooking the city. The problem is, the door has been sealed shut for as long as I've lived here, and there doesn't even seem to be a keyhole. I suspect the answer lies in the desecrated obelisk in front of it. I'm not sure if you noticed, but there are 4 plaques missing from its base. It looks as though somebody, or a series of somebodies, forcibly removed them, and in doing so, dishonored and angered our divine keeper. If you could recover and replace all 4 of those missing plaques, I imagine he might be willing to receive an audience again. It's the towering stone monument with 4 sides and a pyramid-shaped head that stands before the great temple, a dedication to the god of this place. You'll find them all over Rome, but of course they were looted from Egypt many years ago. It seems one of them made its way here too, although how is a mystery. However, this one is unusual in that each of the 4 sides is decorated in a different style: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and another I don't recognize. That means you'll need to recover 4 different plaques: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and a 4th, a mystery plaque.
なかなか大変そうだな。
I don't know. But perhaps you should begin your search with the local Greek fellow, Georgius. His store is in the forum. Perhaps Kabash, our Egyptian resident, will be able to tell us. Unfortunately, he disappeared.
ああ、いないよね。
But I did hear Aurelia is peddling rumors about him at the tavern.
またあいつに話聞かなきゃいけないのかな。
Perhaps you could talk to her, or just take a look in his room. I'm afraid you're on your own with that one, but perhaps finding the other 3 will illuminate the way.
あ、そっか、アウレリアがもう話聞いてくれなくなってんのか。
As I mentioned, both Orpheus and Sisyphus were said to have persuaded Proserpina to help them escape, and Aeneas was guided to the exit. The problem is, those are the stories of a poet, a self-aggrandizing king, and a brawler about their own heroic deeds, so they should be taken with a grain of salt. First, Proserpina. What we do know about her is, well, it's a grim tale. It's said the god of the underworld abducted and dragged her here against her will, forcing her into marriage. If the stories are true, then I suppose so. The problem is, how do we communicate with her without being noticed by her captor? Leaving that aside for a moment, there is also the possibility of a spirit guide. I don't suppose you've come across one of those in your travels? Truly? And you're only bringing this up now? Then again, I suppose you were worried I'd think you were as mad as Navia. Can you tell me more? Is it the same voice? What kinds of thing does it say? Fascinating. Perhaps she's a benevolent spirit. Or perhaps...
語りかけてきてんのは誰なんだろうな。
Perhaps you're hearing the voice of Proserpina herself. If she has indeed been abducted, it would make sense for her to speak in cryptic whispers to avoid detection. Tell me, has she told you anything that might lead you to the way out? Truly? Then why are you still here?
そうなんですよ。
I see. Then it seems you have made a great sacrifice for all of us, friend. I admire your compassion. Truly. Thank you. But unfortunately, I'm afraid your only other option will be to confront you-know-who. All right. I would suggest not discussing this with anyone. The best we can do for them is to let them remain oblivious for as long as possible. As for Livia, it seems she's been shouldering the weight of this terrible secret all this time. Perhaps it would comfort her to know she's not alone.
じゃあリビアから行くか。
In any case, time is of the essence, so you'd best begin. May Fortuna guide you. Although you may not need her with Proserpina on your side.
あとなんかここの浴場に出口がある。あ、これ？あ、こっから出れんのか。でもどうやって出んのこれ。なんかそれも一つのエンディングな気がするんだよな。このはしごは使えないのか。まあいいや、言われたことをやるか。だいぶ状況が進んだな。これささやいてきてんのはあの捕まってる女の人なのかな。こっちから行った方が早かったりする？あ、なんかメッセージある。ウルピウスはセンテラを愛しているが、ウルピウスがセンテラを殺したに書き換えられている。ん？こっちから行けるのか？ここ降りたら早そうなんだけどな。やばいか？いけるか？あっちー。いけたわ。
Just as the ocean accepts, but it does. Say it. Speak its name. Then it is true. I was right. I thought I saw it, but when the rest of them could not, I kept thinking I must have gone insane. I had to tell myself it was true over and over again, until I wasn't sure if I was deceiving myself. I must apologize if my words seem cryptic. I'd found comfort in reciting the Metamorphoses by our great poet Ovid. He gives such an uncanny description of this place. I cannot help but wonder if he himself came here. Would you like to hear it? I will do my best to remember the relevant verse. There is a downward path, gloomy with fatal yew trees. It leads through dumb silence to the infernal regions. The sluggish Styx exhales vapor, and by that way, the shadows of the newly dead descend, entombed with full rites, and the ghosts of those, at last, given proper burial. The wide, thorny waste is cold and pallid, and the newly arrived shades are ignorant of the road that leads to the Stygian city, where Black Dis has his cruel palace. As the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, so this place accepts all the souls, and is never too small for any populace, nor notices the crowds that come. There the bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. Some crowd the forum, some the house of the ruler of the depths. Others follow their trades, imitating their previous lives. And still others incur punishment. I hope I have done it justice, and now we share a secret. It's as if you've lifted a great burden from my shoulders. Thank you, friend. I think I should rest.
Eh, それだけ?
Friend, you have given me hope. May you follow.
お、なんか新しい情報とかないんかい。これ探すか。見知らぬ人物。こいつがな、もう話聞いてくれなくなっちゃったからな。どこだ？ああ、あそこにいたおじちゃんか。どうやって行くんだっけな、あそこ。なんか隠し通路の奥に、あ、ここだ。そういえば神の名前が分かったら来いとか言ってたな。
Come and join me by the fire. Welcome, welcome. May I ask your... It's a sincere pleasure to meet you. Tell me, what... Ah, Kabash. I know this man. He came through here some weeks ago. I will tell you everything I know, but first, a request. I've been living down here alone for many years, with nobody. The one thing I long for above all else.
それで神の名前が、ああ、はいはいはい。プルートだ。
I see you are indeed quite astute. Very few come to that realization before their time in the sun is over. Now, will you join me in a friendly Socratic dialogue?
必要なのであれば。
Now, let me begin with a question. Would you say you know the difference between right and wrong?
難しいこと聞くな。
You are an overthinker too. We're the same then. It's probably why I became a philosopher. But if you struggle with right and wrong normally, then down here with the golden rule, surely your struggle can only have become more difficult.
そうかも。
Well, that's reassuring. And the truth is, you're not alone. You see, out there in the world, being uncertain about right and wrong was acceptable, because our mistakes rarely had consequences. So we would tell lies and bend rules and turn a blind eye and rationalize, and yet still find a way to think of ourselves as good people. But under the golden rule, morality matters. The slightest wrongdoing could result in a mass execution. So to navigate this maze, we would have to be certain about the difference between right and wrong. Wouldn't you agree? That is an excellent question, and it leads directly to my next line of inquiry. So let me ask you this. Is there one system of morality which is always perfectly correct, which you could follow in every situation and always do the right thing?
いや、ない。
Are you sure? Or is it possible that humans simply haven't figured out the right system yet?
存在しない。
So is it up to each of us to decide what right and wrong mean to us individually? Or must we simply follow the laws and customs of whichever community we're in?
ちょっと待って。
So if a man feels that stoning to death his unfaithful
いや、
wife
そんなことはないな。
then is it right?
それは
I
違うわ。
agree. But why? Didn't you just say right
ああ、
and wrong
確かに。
depends on the individual?
なんか意地悪なじいさんだな。
And that's a credit to you. It is the mark of a civilized person to change their position
なんか
when
試され
presented
て
with a
るな。
superior argument. My point is this. I don't think anyone alive truly knows any hard and fast rules about right and wrong. If there is one thing I have observed about rules, it is that virtuous people do not need them, and evil people will always find a way around them. And so we must accept our limitations, and the sad truth that no human society will ever achieve the utopia for which it strives. In mathematics, we would call it an asymptote, a line that can be approached but never reached. Because the only way to create a utopia is with the ever-present threat of force, such as the Golden Rule. This and no other is the root from which a tyrant springs when he first appears as a protector. And life under tyranny is no utopia at all.
話が難しいな、この人。
I'm glad to hear that. In any case, thank you for humoring an
ああ、や
old
っと終わ
man.
った
I would be happy to answer your questions.
やっと質問できる。
You mean, how did I end up living alone in this cave with nothing but these relics of the past for company? It's a long story. I was a quarrelsome young man. At 19, I left Corinth for Rome to study rhetoric at one of her finest academies. So I could. Back then, I used to enjoy verbally sparring with everyone I could. It became heated. He drew a gladius, and I won the argument. But
あ、この人は自分が死んだこと知ってるんだ。
I woke up on the banks of the Styx at a campfire opposite
あ、
Charon.
カランのことも
Of
知っ
course,
て
I
る。
tried to persuade her to let me return, but even with all my skill, I settled in, made friends, and learned what I could, quickly realizing our little community. So I began looking for a place to hide underground. Fortunately, I found this place waiting. I returned to my friends above, persuaded them to join me, and 12 of us descended for the last time to live out our days hidden from Hades.
12人もここにいたの。ハデス。
They're one and the same. The Romans call him Pluto.
ハデスイコールプルートか。
My people called him Hades. My generation was wiped out, turned to gold many years ago. My friends and I were able to avoid the same fate. I think it's safest to assume that if I was to return, Hades would realize that his furies hadn't finished the job, and he'd send them after me again. I'm afraid I am the only one left. There were 12 of us in the beginning, but some from malnutrition, others from mad. It has been lonely. Before my unexpected visit from Kabash some weeks ago, I'd not seen another person in many, many years.
カバシはどこ行ったんだ？
Living in darkness is not without its challenges. The first challenge is
ああ、魚食って生きてたのか。
Fortunately, I found that eating fresh fish. And sometimes, when there are Greek people living up above, I surface at night and salvage the offerings they've left. And the greater challenge is the isolation. So I like to imagine argument. Like so many things in life, arguments are better. I fear that if you were to utter my name in the city, even by mistake, that Hades would hear you. As you wish. Ha! If I did, would I be living like this?
確かに。
Did we not discuss it at length already? You seek the plaque bearing the Egyptian inscription.
それ
It is a cursed object, and I would be happy to give it to you.
ハーバッシュが持ってったんか。
I will tell you, but you may find him hostile. To prepare for your encounter, very few know this, but before the Romans came to this city, it was once entirely Greek. The architecture, the temples, and the people. When the Romans came, in typical fashion, they claimed it as their own, built over everything that could be built over, and thus the shrine of Persephone became the shrine of Proserpina. And when they found an obelisk bearing the name Hades, they tore it off and replaced it with Pluto instead. And the city's dwindling Greek residents, witnessing this compulsive Roman conquest, they gathered their art and valuables, secreted them away through the Temple of Demeter, and hid them here, out of reach of the Romans. However, there was one thing that always seemed out of place to me, an even older plaque bearing an Egyptian inscription. We had no idea until years later when the first of my friends began to die. As a result of their deaths, we began to dig catacombs branching off from this cavern to lay them to rest. We extended the tunnel so far that we accidentally discovered another, an even older tunnel, which somebody had gone to great lengths. Suddenly it made sense why there was an out-of-place Egyptian plaque among our people's possessions. You see, we proud Greeks had thought the Romans beasts for stealing and corrupting our
ああ、もともとはエジプト人が住んでたのか。
much longer than any of us imagined. I think it is best you head through the catacombs and follow Kabash's trail. There are certain things you must see for yourself. Take this key. You'll need it to open the gate.
お、地下墓地への鍵。
I enjoyed our chat, but please.
まあいいでしょう。して地下墓地とはあっちか。あそこか。なんか懐中電灯つけるとホラー感出るんだよな。なんか鳴き声するな。あー、てかあれいいんじゃん。こんな。奥にもいるな。反対側から施錠されている。あいつは動かない？これ動かないか。絶対動くやついるでしょ、これ。あ、動いてるわ。先手必勝。外した。当たった。あ、やーべ。あれもか。あー、やっぱ決勝なら一撃なんだな。こいつもか。外した。あそこにもいるな。 弓補充したいな。あった。え、一人の罪多くの者と罰となろう。ん、これ取れないの？これを持っていくんじゃないの？取れないな。ボードゲーム。あ、やだ。あ、これ動いてるな。なんかあの上行けそうなんだよな。ああ、向こう側からこっちに来れたっていうだけの話か。動いてるやつはいない。あ、あいつか。
Stop. Do not come any closer.
めっちゃエジプトの格好してる。
I am Kabash. And let me guess. Another Greek or Roman come to loot and plunder the resting place of my ancestors, Trousers, boots, curious hair. No. To what end? That is welcome news. You really are not Greek or Roman, are you? I was planning to return it myself, but for now, I must remain. Here, take it, and restore the honor of Osiris.
お、沈黙の神オシリス。そんな簡単に手渡していいのか。
Now, as for the other plaque. Indeed, I have it right here. I stumbled across a collection of dusty curiosities while searching for a place to hide from the hungry children of Amit, and there it was.
それも欲しいんです。
You may not. In
なんでやねん。
fact, I am about to destroy it.
ダメよ。
Because it speaks a treacherous, blasphemous lie. I will tell you, but first, do you know what this place is?
Oh.
Indeed, and I see you know our history. This is the Duat. See what has become of it. I have been down here for weeks, piecing together its story. And here is what I have learned. As Egypt declined and the Greeks had their turn to flourish, their souls came here in great numbers. But instead of adopting our ways, they copied and corrupted them. When they found the obelisk bearing the name Osiris, the true god of the underworld, they desecrated it, removing his name and replacing it with Hades. Even the ferryman of the dead, known to my people long before as Kerti, they renamed to Keron, as if that desecration was not enough. They built over this place, using it as the foundation for their own underworld, so that ours was forgotten. My only solace is that the Greeks then suffered the same fate when the Romans rose to power, renaming Hades to Pluto. And the cycle began anew. I am glad to hear it. Which brings me to this other, fourth plaque. It is inscribed with a script I do not recognize, but it is ancient, almost as if it is older than the plaque bearing Osiris' name. But if that is so, it would imply the gods of Egypt are mere imitations too, copied and corrupted from an ancient people who prospered even before us. And that my people did to them what the Greeks and Romans did to us. But this, I cannot accept. I sense a deception. Perhaps it is the work of Set, the usurper, seeking to undermine Osiris once more.
嘘は良くないんだよな、結構。
You will never know.
あ、やべ。
This work of sacrilege must be destroyed, thrown into the black abyss below in Osiris' name.
ダメ、それはやめてくれ。
You are too late.
お、やめてやめ
It
て。
is done.
お。
You would plunge into the depths of the Duat with no way back up. Madness.
壊したわけじゃないのか、まだ。
If it will help you to see reason, then ask. I am from Rakotis, which you may know as Alexandria, the name of the city the Greeks built over it. Since the Romans had taken over from the Greeks, I took the opportunity to learn Latin. When the fires broke out last year, I tried to help. I gathered terrified locals into my boat and led on my 7th trip. A passenger demanded I wait for his brother. I told him his brother would have to save himself, and he tried to bribe me by placing a coin into my hand. When I refused, he drew a dagger and thrust it between my ribs. I awoke on the banks of the river to a stranger wearing a ram headrest. It did not dawn on me until much later that he was... This is where I belong, as caretaker of the memories of my people. I think if someone is to break the golden rule, it will not be me, for do to the doer to make him do. As for the punishment that will come from it, I finally understand why it has long been said. I do not know what could possibly lie beneath the underworld. Perhaps it is infinite darkness. But all I know is it would be Is everyone so contrary where you are from? Don't.
でも行くしかないんだよな。
Wait. You are planning to go. You would plunge into the depths of the... we shall see.
おー、行くしかないのこれ。なんてことしてくれたんだよ。荒ぶる王ネルから。ああ、ここから脱出しないといけないのか。なんてことしてくれたんだよ。平和的に渡してくれる道ってあったのかな。この辺潜れたりしないか。うわ、おお、そう。あ、トラップだ。あ、でも今ので崩れた。こっち行けないっぽいもんな、明らかに。あ、いや、何も起きない。こっち側も岩があるな。 なんて古典的なトラップ。ん？あれ？あ、こっちか。もう一回岩を落としたら、ああ、一回しかできないのか。こっち行けないか。あ、こっちから行ける。結構トラップがありそうな予感。あ、またあるな。でも、ちょっと踏んでみたい。別に、特にそんな、大したトラップではないな。
When I told you that you would not find a way back up, that was not a prediction. That was a promise. You will die here.
なんだと？
I disagree. I warned you against coming down here, against perpetuating this sacrilege. But you persisted. You have undermined and dishonored the true god of the underworld. How did you think this would end, if not with bloodshed? Very well, I will listen. But if I sense deception, or if you further insult my gods, I will carry out my threat. So tell me, why should I let you live after you salvaged this instrument of blasphemy?
どれだろう。一番上はない気がするんだよな。一番下にしとくか。
Why? To what end?
嘘か。嘘はやめとくか。
But why? What business could you have with Osiris?
立ち向かうのはやばい気がするな。敬意を示したい。これかな？あ、ダメか。てか地震？気のせいか
？Good. I welcome it. You see, the philosopher told me that each time it breaks, Osiris bellows with rage, and his voice shakes the very foundations of the earth. I can only hope one more tremor will lay waste to this fragile place once and for all, and you along with it.
あ、ダメか。あ、バカ野郎。うわ、やってくれたな。ああ、もう死んだよ。くっそ。選択肢ミスったか。ここからやらしとくな。
When I told you that you would not find a way back up, that
ああ、し
you
まった。
will die.
字幕のサイズ戻すの忘れた。
I disagree. You
ちょっと待ってよ。これでしょ？どっかで嘘ついた方がいいな。これだ。
What do you know about honoring the Lord of Silence?
You
speak the truth. Indeed, it seems we have all been deceived.
交換色。
Many of my ancestors endured great hardship to live good lives so that we may descend to the Duat in death. We prepare to have our hearts weighed on Anubis' scales and to swear ourselves innocent of sin before the 42 assessors of Ma'at. And yet, I arrive here to find the Book of the Dead contained only a seed of truth. And now, I ask myself, did our priests steal and embellish the stories of an older people and feed us lies all our lives simply to trick us into obedience?
いや、難しいんだよ、話が。
I am not sure I follow. Speak plainly.
わからん。
Now you insult me and all of my ancestors. You have sealed your own fate.
やれるものならやってみろ。
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
これ駆け抜けたらいける？あ、いけたな。いけたけども、ここに出んのか。いや、でもちゃんと説得して出たいな。ちょっとやり直させてください。一回死のう。てか水が。よいしょ。これ字幕をね、いちいちやらないといけないのがめんどくさい。途中まだいかんじゃったんだよな。
Why? But why? Doubtful. Many we prepared to have, and yet did our priest. I am.
これをあれどっちにしたんだっけ
？Perhaps there is some truth in that. What is your point? You are persuasive. Very well. I will let you live.
よかっ
and
た。
you will do what you will with that plaque. I will remain here for a while and attempt to learn what I can about the foundation.
よかった。
You again. What is it?
なんもないか。これで2つゲットしたな。一気に2つ手に入ると思わなかったな。暗っ。
You carry the gift of Prometheus in your hand. Remarkable. Good to see you again, friend.
見つけた。
I enjoyed our chat.
これでここはもう用済みかな。 あ、そうだ、ジョルジウスに聞いてどの子にしたな。
Greetings and salutations. Greetings. I'm Georgie. My friend, you're... And in a city full of Romans, you are asking me? Because I am Greek. Let me tell you something about Greek. My name is Georgios, yes. But the Romans, they do not care. They hear me say Georgios, and they think, ah, they do this all the time. They see us worshipping Zeus, they copy us, but call him Jupiter. They take Hades, and call him Pluto. I am flattered that they copy our ideas, but why must they change the names? Do they want credit for making it all up? Do they want to forget where it came from? At first, I pull my hair out. After a while, I give up, and I become Georgios the Roman. I accept the world is Roman now. Plus, I have no hair left to pull. But my point is this. If you want to know who stole an old Greek name, look no further than the sticky-fingered Romans. The plague you seek was pilfered from a collection of old Greek relics by none other than Douli. He cannot help it. Like a typical Roman, he likes... And besides, it makes him happy. So I say, let him keep it. I believe he still has it with him. I hope that our path...
ドゥリが持ってんのか。じゃあ結局ドゥリを釈放しないといけないの。あれみんなここにいる。
That's quite an impressive bow you have there. Just like
ガリリウスも来た。おお、帰ってった。あれ今ガレリウスは立候補してたっけ？してるよな。ガレリウスが立候補してて。
Hello. Do you like it? It's shiny. But if I gave it to you, then I wouldn't have it anymore.
そうなんだけど。
I'd be sad. Well, if you get me out of here,
じゃあやっぱ外に出してあげないといけないのか。
Galerius already tried that. Like, yeah, Galerius will let me out. Then you can have my plaque.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Are they again? Certainly. Shh. It's every... As I said, I'll admit, you do seem different to it. So, if... Who knows? Perhaps... But first, you... The problem is, I suspect the answer lies...
その話を聞きたかった。
Or if you could recover, it's the towering you'll find them all over.
あれ？ああ、でも全部あるか。ローマ。あれ？ローマの板は持ってる？もしかして。そんなことないよな。あ、持ってる。どこで手に入れたこれ。あれ？いつ手に入れたこれ。ってことは、あとドゥリが持ってるやつだけか。だからやっぱガレリウスを勝たせなきゃいけないんだ。みんなに話を聞くか、じゃあ。多分ガレリウス にみんなよくしてくれるはず。
Ah, a new face. Salve. I hear we have you. Galerius, definitely. All right.
あ、これも勝手にこれでいいのか。みんな誰に投票する？ああ、こいつは関係ないのか。あの人はリビアじゃねえや。フォビアか。ファビアね。あ、こいつも投票のこと言ってくれないわ。多分このまま選挙してもいけんじゃないか。
Oh. All right.
一回セーブして選挙やってみよう。これでこれでいけると思うんだよな。
Arve. It must be completed. It'll be between. Why do you?
Don't you just love
As I said,
springtime?
I.
今すぐやろう。
Very well.
死んでる。
It is time. Let us meet to elect our magistrate.
.さて、これでどうなるかな。うまくいくかな。この辺の道がよく分かってないんだよな。みんな揃った？まだ？
Citizens, we have a quorate body of voters gathered here to elect the city's magistrate. The candidates are Sextus Sentius Imperiosus and late nominee Gallus Galerius Helva. Marcus Malleolus Gurges withdrew his candidacy earlier today. As agreed, we shall dispense with ballots and candidates will abstain from voting. Let's make this quick.
センティウスに票入れたやつ覚えとくか。
Sentius, of course.
ああ、ダメか。
Galerius. He saved the life of my dear friend Fabia.
Dacius.
Sentius.
ああ、こいつもセンティウス派
The
か。
man who put a stop to the threats I've been receiving. Galerius.
Ulpius.
Galerius, the man
そうだ
who
な。
saved my life.
Rufius.
このガレリウスでしょ。
Man who treated my rheumatism.
勝ったか。
Galerius.
Citizens, you have made your decision. Your new magistrate
Oh,
is
yatta.
Gallus Galerius Helva.
What?
It has been decided. Magistrate Galerius, would you like to make a brief address?
I just want to say, this isn't something I ever wanted. Now that you've put your trust in me, I'm going to do everything I can not to let you down. I'll need some time to put together a list of the changes I want to make around here. But I promise you, there will be changes. My first order is that Dooley is to be freed. Horatius, release him from his cell immediately. Please. Wait, do I need to say please? I suppose not. That's it. You can all get on with your day. Nothing else to see here. Move along.
これでドゥリが釈放されるぞ。ん？ I didn't do it, ドゥリ。初めて見たこれ。
It gladdens my heart that Galerius set poor Dooley free. I will say.
Fortune smiles on you today, Julius. Magistrate Galerius here has ordered your release.
You're going to let me out of here?
I'm sorry it took so long, my friend. And it wouldn't have happened at all if it wasn't for a newcomer. So be sure to offer your thanks when you can.
あ、一緒に喋らないで。
I will. Thank you, Galerius. I'm so happy.
I'd love to stay and chat, but I've got a lot of work ahead of me. Why don't you go to the baths? Then tell Georgius I said you could have some new clothes. Then I want you to go home and rest. I'll speak with you soon, Dooley.
Okay. 話せる？お。
Hello? I'm Dooley. Oh, sorry. Thank you. You're a big helper. I was locked up.
But then let me out
again. You can have my shiny plaque if you want, and maybe you can help me find my treasure. My friend Hannibal used to look after me. But before that, he told me if anything ever... He gave me a key to the cisterns and told me to keep it safe. Please help me find it. Oh, thank you.
やったー。上層のシスターの大神殿の下にある。
Hope you find it. In the cisterns, way up high, Hannibal said. Oh, look over there. Something shining. Is it a treasure?
全然懲りてないじゃん。
It's treasure. I could see it from myself. So pretty. And it's just lying out here in the open.
何を見つけたの？
Maybe nobody wants it anymore. Maybe no one will mind if I just take it.
あれ？石板くれた？石板くれてなくない？もらってないよな。あれ？くれるって言ってたのにな。話が違うよ。あれ？あ、この中にある？もしかして。あ、これか。オッケー。ゲットした。これで。
It's so lovely to see Dooley out and about again.
なんか進んだかな。
Harvey again.
ああ、特にないか。
See you again soon, I hope.
あそこに行きたい。なんだ？え、なんで？なんで何が起こった？ え、ドゥリがなんかした？何やってくれちゃってんの？なんでだ？ドゥリがなんかやったな。ああ、でもとりあえず終わろうかな。セーブ。よし。